friends, welcome back to my channel. I don't know how there was a Thoth deck out there that escaped my view until just recently, but this Zillich Tarot by Christine Zillich is based on Thoth interpretation of tarot. German watercolor artist Christine Zillich explores mythological, astrological, and Kabbalistic symbolism in this intriguing Thoth-style tarot deck. It includes 78 cards and a 60-page booklet written by Johann von Kirschner. Another nice bonus, it comes in a tin for ease of storage and portability. So let us take a look at the cards. This is from US Games, very easily obtainable, printed in 2018, made in China. The tin is very beautiful. I love the blues and greens, the color palette of the tin. Here we have a little white book. And pretty much like any other little white book you would come across. We've got the card meanings. Let's see. They talk about the zodiac association and how to use the card in a reading. Oh, this is very astrologically focused. Okay. A spread. Here's the Celtic cross with a nice explanation about the artist and about the author. Okay. The cards themselves, shrink wrapped. See if I can get these open without damaging them. It's always a worry till you get the shrink wrap off. Okay, so I'm going to set the tin aside with the little white book. And let's take a look at the cards. Looks like they're in order. Well, once I kind of flipped through this deck and saw the deck in its entirety, I noticed quite a few elements that are unique to just this deck. So I thought I would refilm the bulk of this video to explain to you the difference that I see. Now, this deck does have elements of Thoth. It's got artwork that's styled similarly to Frida Harris's artwork. The court cards are similar to Thoth. We have princess, prince, queen, and knight, with the knight on horseback. So that's similar to Thoth. However, in the minor arcana, each individual card is illustrated and it does not have pips. So that is a difference from Thoth. And I think that's an improvement, actually, because you do have the Thoth keywords and then you've got an image to kind of carry the theme of the card through. So in that sense, it's a little more similar to Rider-Waite. And I think it's a great improvement. I love the way the artist did this. Also, in the major arcana, normally Thoth has number 8, justice, and number 11 is strength. Whereas in this deck, number 8 is strength or lust. And this is similar to Rider-Waite. Number 11 is adjustment or justice. There's another big difference from both decks. Card 20, and this is the judgment card in Rider-Waite, and in Thoth it's called Eon. But in this deck, we have sort of an image similar to judgment, but the card itself is tagged as being justice. Initially, I thought that was a error in printing, but I think that was intentionally done that way. And I love the image. I love the idea of the judgment card as being justice. So I really like that. That's a unique twist to this deck. So having said that, let's just go ahead and do our run through of the cards. Here is the Fool, the Magus. I absolutely adore this deck. High Priestess. We've got this kind of modern abstract artwork in this deck, very similar to Thoth, where we've got abstract designs, geometry. Here's the Empress. She's got the symbol of Venus here. Very pretty. The Emperor. We've got similar elements to previous Emperor cards in other decks. The Hierophant. I love that there's no supplicants in the Hierophant card. That is an improvement to me. Here's the Lovers, sort of a yin and yang image. Very beautiful. I think that's one of my favorite lover cards of all times. Look, there's an egg, a snake wrapped around the egg, but yet the winged symbol like you would see for an angel. We've got the kind of babies down here, dual babies. Love the yin and yang theme of that. Here's a very cool chariot. We don't actually see the horses. We see the chariot from the side, the rider. We've got the impression of motion. His hair is flying backwards. It's just beautiful and very unique the way she's illustrated these cards. And as I noted before, we don't have strength, we have lust, but the similar strength image. The woman, the lion, the lemniscate above. So same feel to the card. Here's a really beautiful hermit. I really love that card. The Wheel of Fortune. Again, the geometric design, very similar to Thoth. Adjustment. You've got the scales and the sword, so that's very similar elements as you see in other tarot decks for the Justice card. Only in Thoth style it's called Adjustment. We've got the Hanged Man. I love this Death card. It's got the deathly figure here, the dark angel, but we've also got the butterflies to symbolize transformation and new life. Temperance, which in Thoth would be called art. So again, this is sort of a blending between Thoth and Rider-Waite, and it's a style unique to this deck and this artist. And that is a beautiful, beautiful Temperance card. There is the Devil. Very colorful. The Tower. We see a figure here falling. The Tower sort of coming apart. I love this Star card. She is the star. It's really beautiful. The Moon. And this is different from your traditional moon card in that we do not have a lobster or a crayfish. This is more of a scorpion that stings. So that's a different twist on the moon. This looks like a female face there in the moon itself. A very beautiful Sun card. One of the most well done I think I've ever seen. And here's that unusual card. Instead of Eon or Judgment, we have Justice. It's simply beautiful. So we could presume the angel is above here, blowing the horn, which is sort of looks like a flower with petals. Lovely, lovely artwork. This artist really outdid herself. And here is the Universe. Again, very well done. A little, it's traditional, yet a little twist on tradition. She's got a different posture than you would normally see in the Universe card. We don't have the 4 symbols in the corners. It's really, really beautiful. All right, let's move on to the Minor Arcana. And I am going to try to show you all the aces at once, all the 2s at once. So let me move the camera up a little bit here and get this all into the frame. Okay, so here we have the aces. All very beautiful. You can see the discs sort of have this earthy coloring, yellows and greens. We've got a sword here, which normally signifies the mind and mental items, and we've got this head behind here with crystals and so forth coming out of the top of the head. Beautiful. Here's the Ace of Cups with the blues and the flowing water. And the Ace of Wands, very fiery. Reds and yellows. Really great. I love, love, love this deck. Here we have the twos. And what I like is that we have the Thoth keywords here. Gives you a starting point. If you are new to reading, it's kind of nice to have keywords and you can expand from there. So we have Two of Wands, Dominion. Two of Cups, Love. Two of Swords, Peace. Two of Discs, Change. So I like that they have the keywords. I like that they have more than just pips. They don't have pips at all, but they have images. So it's very helpful for intuitive readings. Here we have the Three of Wands, Virtue. Beautiful flower buds. Three of Cups, Abundance. And we've got all the flowers and fruits indicating abundance. Three of Swords, Sorrow. We've got kind of a sorrowful woman here. She's got kind of a monkey on her back type of an image there. Some other kind of a bird here. So I love that it gives you the impression of the sorrow of the Three of Swords without having that simplistic image of three hearts piercing or three swords piercing a heart. I really like this Three of Swords. Three of Discs, Work. He's pushing it up the tracks there. Moving on to the fours. Fours more relate to the Emperor. They're four square, work, father. Four of Wands, completion. Four of Cups, luxury. Four of Swords, truce or rest. Four of Discs, power or accumulating something, a base that you're hanging on to. Okay, moving on to the fives. Five of Wands, we have strife. So she's got a little bit of a struggle being portrayed in that image there. Five of Cups, disappointment. Five of Swords, defeat. The crown knocked off. This is knocked off of this here. Five of Discs is worry. So worry, troubles, financial difficulties, family problems. That's sort of an idea with the Five of Discs. Here we have the sixes. Six of Wands, victory. You get sort of a victorious feeling from the impressionistic artwork of this card. Six of Cups, pleasure. Six of Swords, science. And Six of Discs, success. So this is a little different from the Six of Swords in the Rider-Waite, where you see them sailing from turbulent to smooth waters. But we do have in the sixes a sense of order and stability and harmony. And science fits more in with that theme, just as sailing into smooth waters is a similar idea. Six of Discs, success. So sixes are very harmonious, pleasant, moving ahead cards. So there are the sixes. The sevens are a little more, sevens are an odd number, and sevens are a little more unstable. They signify confidence, choices, moving ahead. Seven of Wands, valor, which is very much indicative of confidence. Seven of Cups, debauch, whether you're making the right choices or not. Seven of Swords, futility. And Seven of Discs, failure. Alrighty, moving on to the eights. Again, another more structured card. Eights are 4x4. If you had pip cards, you would generally see two sets of four, and it's a more stable and harmonious card than a 7 or a 9. Here we have 8 of Wands, indicating swiftness. 8 of Cups, indolence. 8 of Swords, interference. And 8 of Discs, prudence. So 8s are generally related to movement in some way or lack of movement. They're generally interpreted as indicating advancement and moving forward. And a lot of times in the 8 of Cups in Rider-Waite, you'll see someone walking away from their 8 cups. 8 of Swords, you'll normally see 8 swords surrounding a lady, indicating that she's interfered with and can't move ahead. 8 of Discs, you oftentimes see an accomplishment or a craftsman that's created 8 of something. And in the Thoth tradition, 8 of Discs is tagged as prudence, which is sort of similar, but yet a little different twist on the idea of an 8 in the suit of discs. Okay, moving on to the 9s. We have 9 of Wands, strength. 9 of Cups, bliss. 9 of Swords, cruelty. Kind of like the nightmare card that you will see in Rider-Waite, the image that they're presenting here. 9 of Discs, gain. Again, this is very similar to Rider-Waite, where they have the 9 of Discs, a lady in a garden holding a bird on her hand. I love that type of a image for the 9 of Discs. Here we've got the 3 beautiful birds and the lady in her garden. So very well done. All right, the 10s generally indicate a completion of a cycle. 10 of Wands, oppression. 10 of Cups, satiety. 10 of Swords, ruin. And 10 of Discs, wealth, or inheritance, or having a family structure and stability. So these are very nicely done as well. So this deck is a great melding of the Rider-Waite and Thoth, and it's very unique. Here is the court cards, the Princess of Wands, Princess of Cups. That's the image from the front of the box. Very beautiful. I love her black swan. We've got the water theme at the bottom here. Here we have Princess of Swords. She's got the sword here. And the Princess of Discs. Very similar to the Princess of Discs in the Lady Frida Harris Thoth, where she's got the ram's horns on her head. She's kind of at the 45-degree angle. Very similar. She's holding a couple of discs there. All right, then we have, in place of the knight, as in the Thoth tradition, we have the prince. Here is Prince of Wands. Oh, I love his feathers. Prince of Cups. Prince of Swords. And Prince of Discs. And I absolutely adore this Prince of Discs. Very earthy, grounded looking. The bull, very Taurian. He's even got a bull hat. This Prince of Wands really gives you the feeling of fire. Alrighty, then moving to the Queens. The Queen of Wands with her cat. I love that image. Awesome. The Queen of Cups. We've got the sensation of water and flow and a fish and a cup. A lotus that normally grows in water. Queen of Swords. Got the wintry feel with snow. Crystals, indicating the thought, contemplation that go along with the suit of swords. Communication. Queen of Discs, again, very nicely done. I love that. The earthy abundance, the fruits, the animals. Very cool. And then we have the Knights, which would be kings in a regular Rider-Waite deck, but in Thoth tradition, the kings are renamed as knights, and they're all on horseback. So here we have the Knight of Wands. Got the fiery, flowing feeling. He's got a wand with fire. The horse is very active. We have the Knight of Cups. We've got the lobster, a cup. Very flowing tail there to look like the flow of water. The Knight of Swords. And I always think of this card as sort of being the embodiment of thought, communication, knowledge. And then we have the Knight of Discs, the successful father, the successful business owner or farmer. Wonderful cards. Okay, I'm having so much trouble getting this video filmed. After I filmed the previous segment, I went through and looked at it, and I saw that all the Cups cards had such a glare that you could not even see the image on the cards. And it's so beautiful, I don't want you to miss out. So let me go through those cards real quickly. Here are the Suit of Cups, Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, and I'll just move over so you can kind of see both at once. Beautiful, beautiful Two of Cups. Love it, love it. Look at the two fish. The Three of Cups, I think you might have had a pretty decent view of that one in the previous segment. Four of Cups, Luxury. Five of Cups, Disappointment. Six of Cups, Pleasure. It's kind of a diver. There's a sort of an eel there. An ocean eel. The Seven of Cups, Debauch. She's got her grapes and a dead bird there. Eight of Cups, Indolence. So we've got sort of a stagnant feeling there. We've got fish in the water, but they look like they're suffering, like the water is polluted. Nine of Cups, Bliss. The colors and everything just say joy in this card. Ten of Cups, Satiety. So we've got a couple here. Very beautiful. Very pretty. And then the Princess of Cups, as we saw on the front of the tin, with her black swan. The Prince of Cups. Kind of a desert versus ocean. It looks like an ocean in the background and desert in the foreground. So that's a very different looking Prince of Cups. And then I think you may have had a previous good view of the Queen of Cups, but here she is again. Just spectacular. Worth looking at twice. And the beautiful Knight of Cups. So there you have it. I hope that might help you decide if you would like this deck. The one thing I don't really care for about this deck is the card quality. I feel is not the usual card quality that you get from US games. The cards are a little bit on the cardboardy side as opposed to being more laminated. So I don't know that they're going to hold up that well, but they do shuffle like a dream. They're not what I would call buttery, the card stock, but they're definitely worth the price. I don't believe I paid much for this deck, maybe $12 or $13, so definitely worth the price, especially considering the beauty of the artwork, the uniqueness of the deck in general, the handiness, the portability, the ease with which you can read because you've got your keywords. You would not want to trim this deck because you would not have any pips to let you know what, for instance, 9 of Cups, there's not 9 cups here. So you would not know necessarily what this card was unless you had really worked with this deck and memorized the cards. I don't think most of us memorize cards that closely. So you would need to keep the bottom label with the name of the card and the keyword, the number of the card. And they do not have borders around the rest of the cards, so that is nice. Okay, well, I hope this gave you something to think about. If you like this deck, you can find it pretty easily. I think it's beautiful. I love it. Hope to see you next time.